So we got most of our roof boards up right here, and now we're going to do something somewhat unusual, which is add another rafter in underneath the roof boards. Typically you have all your rafters before putting the boards on, but the reason that I want to do it this way is because there's a pretty strange difference in plane between these two rafters here, and it's hard for me to predict exactly where the boards are going to end up. And now that they're here, we can actually just put the rafter right up underneath them, rotate it around, find the position that makes the most points of contact, and that's going to give us connection to the boards all the way up to the middle of the roof. So that's what we're about to do, is kind of start rolling a rafter around in here and decide exactly where we want it, and then fasten it. Get a little more support.
It's pretty much all you at this point.
Cool. If you want to, this one falling off there. This looks like it's going to be perfect. Keep sending it my way.
It needs to go up like that.
Yep. Get this one. Pull it back towards you for a sec.
How far?
Just a
Like
few
a little
inches.
bit. Like that.
Yeah, I think that's enough. Alright, let's do a little spinning. That's actually
That's
pretty great.
interesting. I'd like for it to sit on this knot here,
Can't.
but it can't.
It's got to. The whole point is that
Yeah.
it keeps this plane. So it's going to pretty much go butt right to the
Yeah.
bottom of this one. We'll make a little notch for it.
Is this the,
There we go.
like that?
That is best for me.
Okay.
There we go. That's the line I needed. All right. Slide it back to me. And then I'm going to rotate this way a little bit more clockwise. There we go.
Like that?
Back up to me and there. Okay.
What do you want me to do with this end? Just let it be?
Let it be there. Yeah.
We'll keep holding it. You want this
Pass me the
chainsaw?
saw. Thank you. Yeah, this is called a saddle notch. At least that's what I call it. I don't know what they're really called. Like a saddle. Yeah, basically this is just I'm creating a similar curve to what I want to attach to, and then this line right here is telling me what the angle is. So I need to adjust this whole saddle so that it's at this angle, because that's the pitch of the rafter. So you'll see once it gets cut, we'll flip it over and it'll hug that post. And I only marked one side because I know that it's going to be parallel, because the post is pretty consistent. So that's gonna, there's an art to getting a curve with the chainsaw, and you kind of want to just, I don't know if I could use words to explain that. We'll see what it looks like.
Also use a grinder if you need it.
Right, yeah. So this is where an angle grinder can come in handy. But an angle grinder requires an extension cord, and I'm standing here with a chainsaw and not an extension cord. You can see that, you know, this is a straight line. I'm making a curve, so you can't go in all the way right off the bat. You kind of take it off in layers until you can start doing like a little scooping. And parallel to that is like that. before I get too carried away, I like just check it again, because so many times I've perfected a notch like this, made it look all pretty, and then it just doesn't actually serve its purpose at all. So don't try to make it look pretty till you know it fits. Like that. That looks pretty and fits right now.
So I need to go up.
Yep.
Keep going up. Okay. It's about where we've been.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, you want it to go my way?
Yeah, if you could go your way a little more. Oh yeah, we're close. Just get it where you want it first.
I mean, I like that right
Okay.
there for the most part.
Yeah, that looks pretty freaking great. Can you kind of see the shape in here? So it's tight down on the bottom. It's not tight in the back here. Gosh, it really only needs. I could make the bottom tighter if I took more off of the top. Like I could close this hole, and I'll take more out of the top, and I'll take more out of just this little section.
Do you want me to send it back your way?
Almost. 1 second.
Okay.
And then another thing that is smart to do is once you know where you're aiming for, give yourself a reference. Because it's really easy with stuff like this to get the cut right, but then try it again and you end up trying it in a totally different place and it isn't right anymore. And you keep fighting against yourself. One more spin. And towards me a little if we can. Awesome.
Like that.
That's beautiful right there. So what was the bottom? This was the bottom. I wanted to take it out of the top, and I wanted to take it out of just a little of this side. So like whenever you have a gap on one side and not the other, you take, basically there was like a 1/4 inch of a gap on the bottom. So I'm going to take a 1/4 inch out of the top, which will look like something like that. And I wanted a little bit more out of this side, but not, this was where the gap was right here. So I want to be careful not to take anything out of that. Then you always have to also think about the middle. So this is where I want it now, but there's still a bump, little belly in the middle. Belly's gone, don't touch that part, but take that little edge. And I always just kind of like feel what's going on here, because this is the shape I'm trying to mimic. Kind of flattens out right here, and then it's actually not a very perfect curve. It's sort of flat and then angular, which would mean flat, angular. So I'll take a little more. I think that's worth a shot. Put it where you want it. So he's got a mark over there too, telling him where we've been scribing off of. That's also very important.
Okay. That's looking about like where we've been.
Cool. That's looking pretty darn nice. I think I'm gonna, for my ease of my own sake, let's just keep it right here. Sometimes you can just take off of the other part to get the last little fit. just noticed a little bump in the middle there, so I took it off. See it one more time. Alright, and we'll slide towards you if we can.
I don't have much. Yeah.
We might have to just shave it a little.
On my side.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know. We're good there. I actually want to come back to me. Oh, and now back to you.
We're down.
That's pretty freaking nice. It could be better. It always could be better.
Right.
Camera behind you.
Oh. Can we go towards you a little? Yeah.
Yeah.
A little more.
Like that.
Yeah, it gets better as we go towards you. Looks like we want to go towards you a little more. There we go. That's better.
You like that?
Yeah. And we don't need to shave that thing actually. So one of the fun things about working with branches like this is that you can kind of create very unique shapes like this for the eave of the roof. This branch was actually just sitting up here a few nights ago, and as the moon was coming up, I just put it up here. I was like, oh, that's an interesting shape for the eave of the roof. It kind of allows you to step out and then not have any roof over you when you're on this balcony, which is a really good feeling, but still gives enough eave to protect the wall without it just being like this dead straight line. Contains the space in a nice way. We put this up first, and then we'll follow it upwards and cut the edge of the boards to match this line. And then the cool thing about these boards is that like this thing needs more support, obviously. But once you overlap the boards and screw them all to themselves and then screw them to this, they actually start to lift up on this at the same time that this is supporting them. And so I like to do that first, and then if it still needs support, we'll come through with braces like this. They'll come off of this post and then other posts that are in the wall, and it'll just continue to get braced until it doesn't need to be braced anymore. So I'm kind of always working like backwards structurally from this is the aesthetic line I want, and then we'll create all the structure to make it possible. Let's start with just drawing the lines, and that's kind of a fun way to work with this kind of material.
Of like
Slipping them under. Right.
If we're gonna cop it up.
Also, because we can reach this and we have the balcony, I think we might as well just start out here, right? Like put the first one first and then go up and then slip it under, rather than what we were doing before, because that creates problems, but we were doing it because we could climb out on it. Yeah, let's do that. We'll start out here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the we'll start with the longest one out here. I got it. I realized I need to shave this one.